Listen. Yeah. Yes, Lord. Get that out of there. Hey everybody, it's your boy Matty Rants. Thank you so much for tuning in today. It is a live review of episode 4, Catty Man, for Drag Race UK, RuPaul's Drag Race UK season 4. I hope everyone's having a wonderful afternoon. I am a little bit perturbed because my water has not been on for the majority of the day. And after contacting these people and them saying, we turned the water on and it should be getting warm again, honey, it is still at the lowest pressure possible. So once this review is over, I'm going to have to get back on the phone and figure out what the hell is going on, because your boy can't even flush the toilet right now. And I'm like, honey, we need to get this water pressure back where it needs to be. I need to take a shower. But again, thanks for tuning in. That's just my personal stuff going on right now. I'm like, oh my God, turn it back on. I want to hear a pipe move or something. But let's do this, because we're going to talk about this episode today. It was a pretty good episode, an improv challenge. We already discussed the runway on the panel, but I'll be giving you my personal thoughts on each and every one of the runways, as well as, of course, judging and the lip sync and who was eliminated and who, of course, won this episode. Ooh, my nose is running. Excuse me. So let's go ahead and get my social medias out the way first and then get this situated here. Also, for the girls probably going, Matt just moved into an empty apartment. Key, laugh, laugh, laugh. Please, bitch, I got movers coming here tomorrow. So, calm that down. I'm going to have to put down $400, but we're going to get the movers here tomorrow and get this furniture put in place. And I finally get my Funko Pops put back up, as well as me setting up a whole new kind of area to film in and all that jazz. Been saying that lately. Anywho, it's at MattyRants everywhere except for Twitter, which is at the MattyRants. You can find that in the description down below. If you grab a branch and you eat some fruit, it's a little bit of Mativia and a good poot. You can find all that information there, along with my merch that is available at dragqueenmerch.com. That is Mativia shirts, Rampack shirts, and the panel and Sundays are best with the panel shirts, including all emojis from your favorite panelists on that show. I also do reactions on Patreon for as low as $1 a month, including this episode that is currently available now, as well as every other show or every show period that I cover here on YouTube is available on my Patreon for your consumption for as low as $1 a month. Also, I am bookable on Cameo if you need a special message or something to get y'all in a good mood and in a good place. Send me a request. I'll go ahead and send you something personal and special just for you. Now, I do and will not forget this time, this disclaimer, but I have to show this because a lot of people seem to think because I am a certain person of a certain persuasion from a certain background that I'm not allowed to discuss things. And I think that's BS. So I'm going to go ahead and give it to you straight. This disclaimer is for you. This program is for entertainment purposes only, and content is not intended to malign any religion, race, company, individual, or wigs. All opinions expressed by Matty Rants and program participants are their personal views and don't reflect the opinions of every human being on the planet. No hate should be sent in the shows or individuals mentioned on this program, so please don't be a poot. And if you feel uncomfortable after viewing this program, please consume some Activia and have yourself just that, a really, really good one. Just a good old nasty poot, because some of y'all cats, girl, some of y'all cats. All right. But I thank you so much for being here today. I appreciate all of the support that everybody has shown me and this endeavor and this move and all the things that I have going on in my life right now. I appreciate the love, and I know my faith has been carrying me through all of this. So I appreciate you down. I'm going to be wearing a couple of different clothes that you're going to see very often until I also get my washer and dryer delivered here on Wednesday. And I can finally wash my clothes if this water pressure will get back to where it needs to go. So let's go ahead and jump into this review. And discuss this episode. But before we do that, just as a reminder, Canada versus the World had its cast revealed today, 9 queens. Tonight at 5:30 p.m. Pacific, 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern, I will be discussing that cast on this channel and going over each and every one of them and give you my first thoughts of their Meet the Queens. Of course, we've seen them on different seasons before, but I am going to be excited to talk about them today with you here. So tune in tonight, 5:30 Pacific, 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern on my channel. I'll be going live again to discuss the cast of Canada's Canada versus the world. Almost a Canada's Drag Race, but Canada versus the world. And if y'all don't know, this is Araja, Silky, and Vanity, Stephanie, Isis, Couture, Stan, Victoria Scone, Stan, Household. Yes, it is. And shout out to everybody else on the cast as well. All right, so let's go ahead and get in. Whoop. And let's talk about the show. Now, okay. Oh, my computer is trying to fall, baby. We're not going to have that today. So listen, now we lost a copper top, but I'm sure we were able to find a replacement at the local grocery store. But unfortunately, this is not that kind of game here. This is a drag race competition. So when someone gets eliminated, only RuPaul and producers can make the decision of bringing them back, right? So I don't think that's going to happen here in this case. Homogenic, I will have that conversation. Oh, and Tiara, thank you. And Anita Wiglet. And Anita Wiglet. And Anita Wiglet. You missing somebody, Cubes. But no, Black Pepper stays, of course, because she ate that lip sync alive. But of course, everybody does miss a little copper top because apparently they all enjoyed her presence and are going to miss her. And I'm sure a lot of other people will as well. But I do know when Black Pepper called her Ginger, forgive me, but that happened to me low key the first 2 episodes too. And I don't know why I did it, but I think it was from her first runway and having that all displayed across her. My mind just went to Ginger and she consistently told us about her being a redhead, even though we could see her from 50 feet away and understand what was going on here. Now, with Copper Top leaving the competition, that means 9 queens are left, and you already know there's going to be a top 4. So we're getting close to halfway there. But Danny Beard is a little messy, and I think they are necessary. I don't understand why people don't like Danny Beard. And I'm referring to Twitter conversations that I consistently come across where people are like, oh, she gets on my nerves. Why? She's fucking entertaining and she's necessary for certain drama and sort of feedback and playbacks on other things. Now, there is somebody I am going to talk about today who I was very confused by, who I'm a fan of, but I was like, girl, your insecurities are playing you this season and it's getting on my nerves. Pixie, you weren't as polite as you thought you were. I'm going to tell you that right now. Something about you this week was setting me in the wrong path with you because I was like, she is really giving what is happening here? What's going on, sister? What is it? The internal dialogue in your brain? Because you were giving me all kinds of I should have had, I should have been, and what the tuck. But Danny was, I would have asked the same damn question. John Burrs, do you feel like you dodged a bullet here? Because low key, it could have been done by teams and it would have been you and Black Pepper in the bottom. And high key, Danny made that statement to say, John Burrs, had that been it, we wouldn't be talking to you on this couch. That's tea. I said Danny asked the right question because in all reality, let's be very clear. Had it been Black Pepper versus John Burrs at that moment, after John Burrs already had just lip sync, Rue would have sent that little baby home. Tea. 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 So John Burrs at the same time understands, hey, this is the name of the game. They're taking it very professionally and maturely as they should. Maturely? I'll keep it. But it was a fun little moment in between. It was a quick conversation. Let's move on to the next day. Sminty, you have some nerve with no badges talking about Dakota Coaster. You have the audacity. I'm sorry, y'all. I thought this was peanut butter, no jelly. Didn't make no sense on this sandwich, bitch. For real. Tall Raven, you're going to tell me that Dakota, everybody loves Dakota. Dakota Coaster. Right, Keebs. Sminty, stop. Girl, you ain't got nothing on your chest. Talking about somebody coaster, baby, when you've been high, low, high, high, low. Like, there has not been nothing to touch the body. So I felt very entertained by her giving this sort of commentary. But at the same time, it's Sminty's an entertaining individual and also very beautiful too. And they give full good drag. Now, I also want to say this too, and I want to say this early, and I'll kind of repeat myself only because I know certain fans of this show, especially from a certain generation, are a little bit aggressive in their approach when it comes to speaking their mind without realizing that people can like something about somebody, but not like something else about someone else. You don't have to fully fall in love with the individual to actually be a fan. You can still be a fan and not like certain things that they do. I know that's a very tough concept for some folks because the girls were talking about robbery this week, and I will not have those shenanigans up in here. Say what you want, but that's some bullshit. Girl, what happened this week, and it was done correctly. I'm not even gonna lie and say I hate to say it. Proud to say it. Y'all were tripping. Either way, after a fun remark in reference from Sminty Drop, and of course, conversations happening around the room. What do I want to do this week? I want to do this week. I want to do this week. Blah, 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 all those words. Oh my God. I did forget something here. Hit the like button, please. There are 100 plus of you watching this live right now. Do me that big favor as a YouTube content creator, especially one of color. It is important that I need you to make sure to hit that like button and get in the comment section to help me out. Sometimes they don't give me any love, and it does go a long, long way. So by you showing me love, it certainly helps out my channel. And thanks for everyone being here today. Also, because I'm shameless, and I just moved, bitch. I will be getting that Amazon wish list together that you asked me to, y'all. I need to go through the home and figure out once I get my furniture in here what I need. But PayPal.me /MattyRants. Catch up all the time. MattyRants, Venmo, MattyRants. If you want to drop a tip in my jar just for hosting today and bringing you some cheer, but that thumbs up will do just fine. Now, once we get past this, RuPaul with this weather woman hair, not really, but she owns the company that she owns the network, high key, gives us a riddle in proportions of kitty cat cacao. Rashandra, where have you been? Someone help Rashandra out here. I'm not going to pause right now. I got to keep this review going. Help our good friend out here in reference to the things I've been posting for the past 2 months about this, but help Rashandra out as I continue this review. But RuPaul shows up in a really nice suit. I really do enjoy this jacket. It's quite cute. Here to present the mini challenge. The mini challenge has them doing a little bit of musical chairs, but with padded asses. Padded asses. This was a silly challenge, but it's whatever. Ru had these babies get into quick drag, which I'm starting to recognize as assault and battery. What is going on here? I would appreciate a little light beat, but some of these babies were going for full homicide. For example, this one right here. I said, what is going on? What is going on? What about this is cool? Wait, what is this? What is this? Oh my God. Oh my God. I mean, if this doesn't give me a reference for the tall raven joke, I don't know what to tell you, honey, because everything's dark. Everything is dark. Either way, she was committing a crime to that mirror, of course. And then all of a sudden, I want to talk about this crime as well. Now, LaPhil, I love you, bitch, but you got, honey, did you put food that could be eaten on your ass? Those croissants in what looks like a nice Danish, honey, that could have fed somebody. Bitch, those are fries and chicken nuggets. Is that your lunch? I pray those were fake food. I really do, because a bitch was hungry just watching it. But I said, Mama, she don't waste the food. Waste the food. Waste that food, why don't you? And you know how I feel about wasting food. Ask Keely, okay, who threw a bucket of chicken a full bucket of chicken into a fireplace. I will never forgive her. Promises indeed. Wearing sweatsuits, trying to give the girls a gag the entire season. Meanwhile, she didn't want to perform because she knew her voice wasn't up to par. But back to this show, RuPaul has these babies getting the worst of all kinds of worst in their looks. It's a quick drag because they're playing musical chairs on padded. He is fine. Yes, he is. Short daddy with the big chest. How you doing? Arrest me, please. In my insert here. Okay, so we're gonna go past this one. Oh, yes, Lord have mercy. This was fun. We got to hear some mid RuPaul songs played, some that we enjoyed more than others, while the babies danced around and played musical chairs. I'm gonna blame. See, this is a mini challenge, but I also know with Drag Race UK there is never coin involved. So in reality, the only advantage they're going to get through these mini challenges is them having some sort of do or a little bit of a 15-minute window or picking rights for teams when it comes to these mini challenges. Because a lot of girls were doing a lot of dancing. Black Pepper, I'm looking at you, bitch. I said, girl, if you wanted to win this one, you on the floor with your knees and shit. I said, baby. But it was fun. If you got one more time to go green on me. Sminty, you were dropping a lot. You were dropping a lot. I mean, that makeup was the drop, but how you doing? Either way, it was a fun time, but the winner of the challenge, and it shouldn't be a surprise to anybody, was Pixie Polite, who literally threw the entire couch on her body. And honestly, when it was Sminty and her left over, all Pixie had to do was sit down, and literally it was an entire rebound from Sminty drop. I thought somebody was at Discovery Zone and found their way into the trampoline pit. I swear to God. Anywho, God bless this officer. Please arrest me in the dark. No, I want lights on. Catty Man is the Maxi challenge today. This is an improv challenge. Woo! Let's go back. That was embarrassing. With this Maxi challenge, it's an improv challenge. Alan Carr is going to be hosting a chat show where there will already be there's going to be set scenarios for these 3 different teams that has to do with something catty. Everything will be punnable. Punny, all that kind of fun stuff. And so with the 3 groups that are going to be picked here, in those groups they'll all have their own scenarios. It will be an outline. That's how improv works. You have an outline as far as what you're going to do. Everything else is left up to you and you making it up at the top of your head. And the idea behind this, and I do love an improv challenge, it's one of the challenges that I would love to do if I ever get on Drag Race, if I ever audition, if I'm ever ready to get on there. I would love to do an improv challenge. I would love to do an improv challenge. I'm quite good at picking up stuff on the slick slide, and just throwing it out there, honey, and making. The thing is that with improv, there needs to never be dead air. There needs to never be a silent moment unless it's actually, even in the body language, you need to be giving something, and it should always show. It's very yes and. There were a lot of ands and no yeses. Okay. Banjo Stewie. It's based off of his chat show, Chatty Man. Very funny. I haven't seen Alan Carr's show. I have seen Graham Norton's show because it's always on my Facebook feed, like as far as, interviews that are done. But yeah. Which team would I join? Piece of cake being my drag persona. To be honest with you, I would have wanted to be on Pixie, Cheddar, and Danny's team. No shade. Cheddar's an actor, so yes. Pixie's funny, but I'm going to talk about her in a second, and I do like Pixie, but I'm going to talk about her in a second. And Danny is talented as fuck. Like, maybe not a good dancer, but bitch. That it was a deserved win this week. I'm gonna tell you that. I'll be very honest with you. Listen, Thank y'all for tuning in today, everyone who stayed around here. I know some of y'all don't like my live videos, but in reality, I enjoy going live, and I like to do things I enjoy as well as bring you some entertainment today. So do me a favor, hit that like button if you're still here, share and subscribe if you're new to the channel, drop a tip in my jar if you feel like it. And I thank you so much for supporting this channel, all of you who are here today. I send you nothing but my love. No shade or no hate from me over here, okay? Now, past this moment here, Jesus. Lisa Rinna. Well, 3 Lisa Rinnas. Listen, hold on. Lisa Rinna over here is making decisions for the group. And she chooses Danny Beard and Cheddar Gorgeous. I think that was a great team. But I also knew once she picked them, everybody was going to be set up for a failure in some sort of way based off of initial thinking of who they thought was actually funny or could carry an improv show. So in other words, I think Pixie chose the 2 people who in reality she felt were going to be actually good. And I think she felt everybody else was going to be trash. High key. I kind of had that same feeling when Cheddar brought it back up again, but she said it in a very polite way. Even RuPaul called it out. She was like, oh, that's interesting. So after picking them, she decides to just go down the line, which I thought was interesting. I was like, I see what we're doing. She's like, well, I guess we'll do Dakota, LaPhil, and Baby as one team. And then, the other team will just be Black Pepper, John Burrs, and Sminty Drop. This was strategy. This was not polite at all. I see you, Pixie. It's okay. You did what you needed to do this week, but you still didn't get what you wanted, and you were pouting about it. I thought that was very strange, grown individual. Anywho, this team right here, I had a little faith in, but I'm also concerned for, how well people play with each other. And then also going into the next team with Black Peppa, John Burrs Blonde, and Sminty Raven Drop, we'll see what happens. But RuPaul saw the writing on the wall there and said, how interesting you went down the line so you wouldn't look like an ass, is really what RuPaul wanted to say. And that's what I'm going to go ahead and keep to. I think Pixie did that on purpose. I think she did that also not to look like an ass, and she undermined some people's intelligence here, because in reality, I would have called shenanigans. But at the same time, with her getting the advantage to pick the teams, you don't need to worry about nobody else but yourself. Okay, so I said, all right. The acoustic in your new space is amazing. Thank you. I noticed some of y'all telling me about how it sounds so clear here now. And that's because this home is my home. And hopefully when I get this furniture in here tomorrow, we still have that same sort of wonderful acoustic space. But yes, my filming area is actually going to be, it has a nice little corner, or a little cozy little corner. So it's going to be able to bounce around. And I'm also going to be getting some, those little noise canceling pads that you put on the walls. I'm about to fill this entire little corner with those. I just have to find something I like. I do. Now, RuPaul called it what it was, but of course, Pixie, I'm polite, but Cheddar Gorgeous is my bitch. Cheddar Gorgeous, you my bitch, you my sis. Cheddar was like, so Pixie, I saw your choices, and I do have questions. And Pixie's like, well, no, I just kind of went down the line, and Cheddar, I heard you, Cheddar. I see you. Cheddar was like, but in reality, she's like, well, there was going to be a mid team and a low team. I found it interesting that Pixie thought that Black Peppa, John Burrs, and Sminty were the mid team, and that Baby, Dakota, and LaPhil were the low team. Did you catch that? I said, ooh, and that's why I love Cheddar Gorgeous. I'm also going to have a conversation about Cheddar and Black Pepper, and that conversation about hair. It touched my spirit. It touched my soul. It touched my spirit, touched my soul. And I am going to talk about when I talk to Black Pepper in real time. Not me talking about them in the sense of this, but yeah. Pixie, you know what you're doing. You ain't as polite as you say you are. Cack. but it was smart. It was a smart decision nonetheless. So now that they're in the groups, they find out what the actual scenarios are going to be. So with the first team here, Pixie, Cheddar, and of course Danny, it is curiosity killed the Katrina. If you saw my reaction, I had to get up because I was like, bitch, is this a joke about Hurricane Katrina? It's not. And thank God it wasn't, because the bitch was about to be mad for no reason. I was looking for some reason to be angry. Like, girl, we not bringing up Hurricane Katrina. Please and thank you. I am going to trust something here. Okay. Okay, the water's getting better. The pressure's coming back just a tad, but it's not a lot though. But I'm going to be messaging you all. I want my water back. Listen, now let's see here. I had to write this down. I was like, Joe. Did I leave that on? I did leave that on. Shame on me. Basically, an ex-child star wanting closure about her sister, apparently who disappeared or something like that, goes to Alec. Why did I say Alec? Goes to Alan, my own handwriting, with the help of the psychic to figure out what the hell happened to them. Okay, cool. Let's see how this goes. Now, of course, Pixie is going to play Katrina, the long lost sister. Danny's going to play Mystic Mog, which is a play on Mystic Meg. C is simply Desmond. Thanks for stopping by. And also, Cheddar is going to play Curiosity. I felt like that was appropriate. Now, going into the second group, that's the Dakota Baby Phil. Dakota Baby Phil. Phil Baby Dakota. Ha ha. Phil Baby Dakota. Now, that one, no, I'm not done. This is where and this is and no shade, Pixie, but you were throwing slight jabs through this entire episode. Team Talent over here. It's like, what? I'm going to talk about it in a second because I felt like, girl, this lady's insecurities are playing out in this shade. And it happened in Untucked, especially. Like, what? Girl, you have a badge. And it was a challenge that you really, really wanted to win too. Remember? And this also so happens to be the one. Girl, pull it together. Pull it together. Now, getting onto this team, Cat's Got My Tongue. I thought this one was a funny concept with basically two entertainers who apparently have swap voices, or two rival entertainers who swap voices. Literally, tongues were swapped, where they need a doctor to come into this one in order to assist them with getting their voices back. Dakota feels like, because they have no improv experience, that this is something to honestly... There's no expectations here. Just do what I can do best. And if I don't do well, oh well, but at least I tried. I really like Dakota Schiffer. I do. And it's not just them in the workroom. Her confessionals are a key. And it has this sort of energy about her. I feel like they almost gave her a day glow lighting or something. You can see it in Dakota's eyes. And I hate to be all up in her grill like that, but I'm like, something about her gives me this, like, I'm just happy to be here, grateful, humbleness, like something about Dakota I just really, really like. So I thought to myself, this team can do well, but LaPhil told us that they're very much an organizer, somebody that sort of puts things together. In improv, that doesn't necessarily work very well, especially when you need to go off the cuff sometimes, especially if someone throws out a joke or says something that may not even be related to what you thought or intended for the scenario to give, and you just have to really roll with the punches. So the next group, Pep Sminty Burrs, Pep Sminty Burrs, Pep Sminty Burrs, Pep Sminty Blonde. John Smint Black is the catfish is out of the bag, and basically in reference for this one here, this has to do, with the unlucky in love queen is looking to meet the one, but when they meet them, they're being catfished, but love may still be there. Okay. just to give a little clarification from the last group, too, Dakota's playing Tabitha in that group, Baby's playing Kitty Cat. And of course, there was Dr. LaFeline, which LaPhil felt like, oh, that's perfect for her. Mm-mm-mm. 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 Now, with this catfish is out of the bag one, I love how Sminty was like, I'm going to go out of character and play Catty Fisher. I was like, is that really out of character? And then Peppa was Lucky and John Burrs was Claudia. Okay. So with John Burrs, you know, with John Burrs, they're playing I guess, the love interest that was the real love interest. And then, of course, Black Peppa is playing Lucky, the one who's looking for love. Sarah, I've posted that information. It's going to be at 5:30 Pacific, 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern here on my channel. Once I'm done with this review, since this is the focus right now, I will be posting the information to join the live tonight for Canada versus the world. So excited to have that conversation with you later on this evening. Back to you, Kay. So with the catfish out of the bag, we have our team set together here. Let's go ahead and get into the challenge itself. So I now understand why I like Alan Carr so much, because high key, this is what I want for my own TV show. Not to have a conversation with people about messy topics, but to sort of Zaway, I think, is the best way. Her show is the best way to describe like what I'm looking for, like almost a parody of an actual talk show, but in reality, it still would be a real talk show where I'd ask pretty good questions. You know what I'm saying? Like I would ask like legitimate questions, but also ask silly ones too to throw off the topics. It definitely wouldn't be like that Andre. That what's that show called on Adult Swim where he's doing the most, and he's like that, but not ridiculous, because that's ridiculous. I would definitely do a little bit more my speed of things, and I would also include sketches in between, not any of the sort of like camera show work and all that kind of hidden camera crap, none of that. But yeah, I would like to do something like this. So Eric Andre, there we go. Yeah, I like his show, but I also wouldn't want to do it like that. Like that's ridiculous. But I would like to take it, but make it a little bit more professional. A lot more professional. Oh, but Alan Carr was great. Also, it was fun to see him get out of character a couple of times because people were really funny. But the queens got to actually watch each other perform throughout this entire performance here, and sort of, see how everyone did. They give you a little live audience feedback. But yes, this montage was all me, bitch. I was like, oh, that's how I would want to start my show. Da, 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 ooh, da, 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 da. And in one scene, I'm holding a cat. Da, 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 da. I was like, oh my God. I love this, to be honest with you. But let's talk about the first group, okay? Now, Cheddar Gorgeous as Curiosity. Cheddar was a little serious in the beginning, and then it just got better and better and better. I felt like once she established who she was as a character within the first 2 minutes of whatever she was doing, and she felt comfortable, that it started to flow into what she was trying to do. She wanted to make herself very deep and serious, but also, she has a secret. Remind yourself, right? Okay, so she's talking about her sister and what she wants. I thought she was excellently dramatic, but in reality, Cheddar was good, but Danny Beard was the best of this group. The fact that bitch came out there with some fake teeth and Alan Carr gathered her real quick, because it was almost like, bitch, are you making fun of me? and she dropped the teeth, and I was like, oh, I was a fan of Danny. Danny was so good with their character. It was never dropped a line, never got out of character, kept it real centered, had Alan laughing, had everyone laughing, definitely knew what to do in terms of the aspect of improv and really carrying a scene. And Cheddar was playing into that. And I was very entertained. You got to give it. You got to give it. You got to give it. But Danny, you really sold me on this one. Now, when Pixie Polite came in here And of course, Pixie was, hold on, Maddie, I'll get these names down. Katrina. I'll give Pixie this. I felt like once Pixie came into the scene, they could have cut to commercial and been like, we'll be right back. This show is brought to you by the BBC. Like very, very much, this felt like a show from the BBC. All three of them did really good. All of them were doing so good. But I'll be honest with you, Pixie, you did great, but I thought Danny was still eating you alive. And I think Danny was being very nice to you this week. And I think that's because y'all have a great friendship and all that. But I honestly was still focused on one person the majority of the time. I thought you had a great voice. I enjoyed how you came in. You gave us flats, darling. You gave us no arch support on those feet, looking like roly-poly from Baddie South about to beat up Natalie Nunn tees. Very that girl. Bit and knee. Can't bit and knee. But y'all had a really, really good group. I just think if we're going to talk about who was giving the most out of everybody, I think Danny was the one that was holding them together. The fact there was a deal, that came out of who put that in their luggage? I'm sorry, they didn't have to drive nowhere. They didn't have to fly nowhere, girl. But I was like, I'm getting something here. This one likes Coke. She was so good. She was so good. For the girls that know about roly-poly. Have y'all seen that promo picture? Have you seen the full promo picture with that leg? Whoa, bitch. I ain't never seen a listen, I look like damaged furniture. I was like, Mom. It was good. This was a great team. They were the best one out of the night, honestly. But I think that Danny was carrying the fuck out of it. I thought Cheddar was giving all kinds of dramatic, and I thought that Pixie Polite played the crazy John Waters. Great reference, by the way. It was very John Waters how they came out in terms of performance wise. Gave me a little bit of divine tease. It was very that. Very that. So I was here for it. I was here for it. Touch the earlobes, yes. I thought it was great. It was a good performance for those three. Now, moving into the next group here. Sorry, the wig reveal into a better or worse wig. It was terrible. I'm praying. I hope I didn't take a picture of that little thing. Now, Dakota. Dakota. With Cat's Got My Tongue. Who was not prepared for Dakota to do that deep voice? And it's perfect because it's Cat's Got My Tongue, so it makes sense that she would do the voice, but who was not prepared? Because I was not prepared for that. She sat down giving you all kinds of puss and said, "Hello, Alan, my name." I said, "Oh." Spooked. I was like, wait a minute. I was spooked. I think she was as shocked as Alan was for that moment because she kept breaking character. Alan kept breaking. They just kept on cracking up at each other because it was just so silly. I was like, what are we doing here? A lot. But I thought it was really good. Personally, I thought it was really good. I thought they did well. Even though she broke character, it just felt like watching Saturday Night Live. And yeah, I was just watching Saturday Night Live, and it kind of gave me that sort of spiel. You know how when Pete Davidson used to be on there, or Jimmy Fallon used to be on there, and he would always break character? Jimmy Fallon was notorious for breaking character in damn near every skit he did. Every single skit. Like, they gave Leslie Jones a hard time because she's a dark-skinned Black woman who's very tall and doesn't give them the appeal that they want. But Leslie broke character a lot. But I'm talking about Jimmy Fallon, bitch. Every motherfucking skit that man was in. So it was funny to me. I was entertained by them breaking character because they just knew how ridiculous it sounded for Dakota to give that. It just sounded ridiculous. AKA Mr. Donut. Hey, by the way, Maddie, what platform doesn't take any money when sent to you? excuse me, YouTube, when you do super chats, which are always still really great to do, so I appreciate super chats. They do take a percentage of that super chat that is given to us, and we normally wouldn't see that super chat. Even in the whatever month you send me a super chat will never be seen until the next month. Like we get paid from the previous month. So when I get paid this upcoming Friday, I will be getting paid for last month, not this month. So FYI, whenever y'all are sending super chats and stuff like that, it's always the next month when I would actually see those, but I would see a portion of that. PayPal, Cash App, and Venmo do not deduct. That's why I'm always saying, if you drop a tip there, that's always appreciated. And with Patreon, when you do that service too, that's a subscription, so it's not really like they take that away. That just goes into the income, and of course they take a certain tax percentage of that and this, that, and the other. So yeah, but that hope that answered that question here. And shout out to everybody joining the live. Hi. Thanks for tuning in. But let's get past Dakota. Now, baby, I heard that you did actually pretty well from somebody who literally is sitting next to you on live. And the girls were talking about that on Twitter. Okay. But misinformation is misinformation. So I don't know. For real, that's allegedly baby did pretty good. But what we got was maybe 1/3 of a performance. The Cambodia part was honestly the funniest bit for me. Well, Dakota said that they high key were cracking up at baby's jokes, but in the edit that we saw, it's like they cut almost every one of her jokes that was funny. So I was like, oh. And so they were kind of surprised that she was in the bottom. A lot of them were surprised that day. But I do need to remind y'all, this is a TV show. It's a reality TV show, but it's a reality competition TV show. They need a narrative. And so we may not always get what we get, but whatever is presented is what we see. That's why I don't trip anymore on these shows, because at the end of the day, I'm going to support these people, whether I like them or not. I'm not referring to Pixie. I'm referring to Dakota having that conversation. I don't know what Pixie was talking about. I wasn't on her live. But that's just what happened. That's just where it was, okay? It could be her just saying, maybe Dakota found everything she did funny. We don't know. It is a TV show. This wasn't funny. Danny's saying, I thought she had a songwriting degree. Girl, this is improv. There was no music. There was no music, baby. Either way, the Cambodia bit I thought was funny, but honestly, it was a little bit of a struggle for our baby. And I did feel bad. Now, that wig is a mess. LaPhil, okay, listen, they had you playing the doctor. I don't know where you thought that was going to get you where you needed to go, but high key, you sat down and gave us an entire something on something. I was like, what is going on here? I felt bad for LaPhil because I know she could have done well in this challenge, but I think that when she sat down, it became she started overthinking everything that she was doing. Yeah, I felt like she was overthinking the process, and it became a little too real versus we're doing a funny skit. And I felt bad for LaPhil because I like her a lot. I think she's funny, but I would have enjoyed doing LaPhil's role because I would have came in as like, Dr. Frankenfurter from not American, but from Rocky Horror Picture Show. I would have done something crazy like that. I would have gave you a little extra and done the most in that part. Pulling out random things from my jacket that are cat related, and I'd had try to find two things that look like tongues. I would have done some extra here, but she definitely sat down. She said a couple of words, and that was that. She is very lucky to not have been in the bottom this week. I'm going to put that tea out there. She is very lucky to not have been in the bottom this week. Her runway for sure saved her. But let's take a look here. Goncalo. Is it Goncalo or Giancarlo? I'm sorry. I see the G, but I want to say the J. You know what I'm saying? Ruth's comment about the queens coming to the show unprepared to handle different types of challenges due to their lack of experience was really uncalled for, given she's responsible for the casting. Here's the thing about that, too. The person who she just crowned from the last season of UK was not prepared for a lot of challenges either. But it wasn't that big of a deal, was it? Okay. That's why I don't take too much weight in those moments. I think those are very made for TV comments, to be honest with you, because let's be very clear. Not every winner of every season has been prepared for each and every challenge that has been given to them. And some have been prepared for all of them and still don't win. Down here, 84, can you do me a favor and hold that comment for later? Because I will be talking about it. And when Baby had brought up how they had the thing with authority figures, I said, oh, I know exactly where that is coming from. I feel exactly where that is coming from. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We had 190 plus people in this room, and I'm still going to assume that that was the case. I see you on my PayPal. Thank you so much, baby. I appreciate you for the tip. Do me a favor, every one of you who is in this room, hit that like button, share, and subscribe. Become a part of this Rant Pack family. No, you don't. No bads. No bads here. No bad. No, you're fine down here. We're gonna still talk about it, but I want you to hold parking lot that for a second because we're gonna use that later because I'm gonna talk about it when we get to the runway in just a second here. If you green me out one more time, bitch, we gonna fight. My Wi-Fi has been getting better, y'all. It's not dropping as much as it used to, but every now and then it do. But it rained today too, so and it's now cool outside. I'm so happy. This was funny when they did the exchanging of the tongues, but that was funny. And when Dakota honestly kind of sold it for the whole group in this moment here, I'm back. It's over for you. You're finished. That was funny. I thought that was a cute little moment here. So it did save this place. Thank you, Dig It. It did save it. It did save the scene a bit. But at the same time, I was like, oh, okay, not really good. Not really good. I know that's right. Baked by Bunny. Gumbo weather, honey. Woo, child. I can't have that seafood, but I've had like chicken gumbo before, even though girls are like, that's not gumbo. I'm like, I know, but I had some chicken gumbo and that shit was great. Now, on to the next group. Doesn't black pepper look really good here in this kind of moment? Just this little look here. I was like, oh, she looks giving. But I was also here for giving the island accent as well for her character, because she said, I'm looking for little island, that it was really good. Where that Saint Martin came out of her, and it was quite fabulous in this moment too. So I thought Black Pepper was doing the Lord's work. I was like, okay. Rich, I think the reason why Alan laughed because it wasn't expected because, Black Pepper, when she does talk, she doesn't give, normally from what we have seen on the show, it doesn't go into the full island accent. It's a mixture of the two from her being in the UK as well as from, the islands and also being around her family and folks. You know how it is. Well, maybe you don't know how it is, but, for the girls that have family from the islands, I have cousins from Trinidad and Tobago. So, because my uncle married one of my favorite aunts in the world, and she's from Trinidad and Tobago. And also, my sister is married to a Jamaican guy, one of my favorite people too. Love him down. And so for me, I always, you know what I'm saying? For me, I'm always like, I hear different tones and accents all the time in my house. It's either Southern, very Alabama, it's either East Coast because I have a lot of people on the East Coast of my family too, and then I also have family from the islands as well, which I will hear a lot of different tones. I say all this too to also make an example out of people thinking they know who I am and what my life is. Honey, my family is a whole lot of black and a whole lot of different black. Okay, it's from islands black, East Coast, South. Oh yes. So I always get that feel when I'm like, I've been around the world and nah, I can't find my baby. Anywho, homogenic, I'm gonna not take that personally because I think she looks good here for this challenge. But I thought she did a really good job to set this up. 200 people in this room. Hit that like button if you could for me, please. Drop a tip in my jar, and if you feel like it, thank you so much for being here. We're talking about Drag Race UK in my new home. I just got a package today. I got to open up. Sminty dropped the ball for sure. dropped it. Dropped. Girl, what the fuck was this? Who are you? Who are you? Sminty. It's like you got there. Feral Kitty, you posted something on Twitter. Oh, homogeneous. Okay, I was about to say, I was like, girl, who you talking about? What? I was like, what? I was like, what? Don't talk about my sister. Oh my God, Stephanie, oh my Stephanie. You are beyond generous every time I see you on my Cash App. Thank you so very much. Thank you so much for this tip. Mama, I'm low key gonna pay that with the movers tomorrow while you being funny. But as always, love from Romania, time for bed. Have a good night rest, my love. Thank you, Stephanie. I appreciate you. I'm gonna tell you this though, that the movers tomorrow, yeah, that's going right to the movers. Good. That tip was kind of really needed and necessary because I was like, well, this is going to put a dent in my wallet getting my motherfucking shit over here. But yes, thank you so much, Steffi. I appreciate it, baby. She should have left that on and acted with the mask and then done a little lift and close. Can I tell y'all, that's what I would have done differently with Sminty's character. It was embarrassing, but also sad that she couldn't find any words to really go with this scene. So she was not prepared for improv at all. Isn't it also interesting that she told Black Peppa and John Bur's Blonde, let's not be ambitious here, making fun of them for being in the bottom last week? When LaPhil's the one that got your ass together so that you can complete the challenge. Isn't it interesting? You were worried about those two. In reality, you couldn't even hold your shit together. I feel bad for you. I do not. Because I kind of saw this coming. A lot of talk from that one. She's a pretty gal. A lot of talk, though. A lot of talk. And girls can have confidence, but I need you to back it up because they gonna come for you. They gonna let you know what's up, what's the gooey, what's the gag, and what is the giggle. So she sat there, pulled off the mask, gave us shit makeup, Raven before the tanning bed, and then didn't deliver anything after that at all. Just looking like a real housewife from some franchise who forgot that they had to be on camera that day. Quite awful. Quite awful. They asked you a question and you said, my mother, she sat there and went, oh, I was told if you have nothing good to say, don't say anything at all. With makeup on your teeth, you did all that. I was like, fuck me. And I'll be real with you. You don't need an acting class for improv. You could have watched a couple of videos on YouTube and got the concept quite well. Everybody got a friend that's a little bit of an actor or an actress. You could have gone to some show. There are improv shows that you can go to for free that will teach, bitch. And I may have that privilege as somebody who has been in improv classes before, as somebody who has done improv many times before, graded on it. It was one of my best things in school when I did theater in school. It was my top ranking. As my teacher would like to say, Matty is an improv professional because I can come up with shit on the fly. What's the scene? What's the scenario? And what's the situation? And go. And mind you, when you're doing improv, you're working as a team. So you need to play off of other people and not over talk folks. That's why you allow people to speak and then you roll on in. Just literally. And here's what's funny, Belle, not to drag her a little bit, but to give her a little bit of a chop. She actually already has all of the improv skills in place for somebody who does very well in confessionals. So was it just that she was intimidated by the first two groups? Was it that she felt Baby was caring and didn't know where to go from there? Because the concept was put in place. I mean, low key, Black Pepper's giving you call me now. And we would have rolled off of that. I'm sorry. Very interesting. I wanted her to do much better in this scenario, but it was not the situation or the scene. This was the funniest part of it all, but it was also super sad, especially LaPhil's like, girl, what is this sad twerk? Y'all have got to understand, Miley Cyrus has ruined that word. Her and her flat back. have ruined that word. That's another thing too. A lot of y'all want to say you're twerking in the club. Listen, I've seen chicken cutlets get more shape, time, and rotation on someone's cutting board than I have on some of these backs. Y'all use that word too much. You and these av statements that you try to take up, please stop it. Also, to anyone that saw that video on TikTok about masculine voguing, that is not a real thing. That is not an actual dance. It's not a created one that's happening around the globe. He stole some moves from Black kids who have been dancing a particular style that is that doom doom doom, you know, the beat that they do for those viral TikToks, doom doom doom, boom boom boom. He stole all of that and then called it masculine voguing, and then was deleting comments on TikTok and even deleted his own apology about the situation so that way he wouldn't have any flack, because his friends told him, don't do all that, stand your ground. So if you see that video, report it. I'm that guy. Report it, read him, drag him, do all that. He's deleting all those. Go drag him, because that shit's some appropriation that I'm not fucking here for. I'm not here for it, and nobody should be okay with it. It's a prime example of that kind of stuff, and especially towards the ballroom community, those who actually walk balls and Vogue and spend hours and hours in the evening up until the morning trying to get those trophies to pay some bills, because that's actually some people's incomes. Are you fucking kidding me, bitch? You got some fucking nerve. A whole white man sitting up there doing all that nonsense. Masculine voguing. Bitch, you be lucky you not in my city. Because if the girls saw you outside, honey, in Houston, they get your ass. Real talk. Ugh, disgusting. Anywho, not to put Sminty into this, because she was doing this out of being funny. And honestly, it was her saving grace this episode. High key, low key, all keys. But we were LaPhil in this moment. The fuck is this? John Burrs, honestly, after Sminty just didn't do anything but sit there and basically be a one-season housewife, you came in, you gave Irish comedy. You did. It was very much the islands met Irish. Met Ireland, met the islands, Ireland to St. Martin, very much that. And it's also interesting that John Burrs and Black Pepper worked again, thanks to Pixie being so polite. But I can see that they actually do work well together. They do work very well together. So I was kind of happy that they worked again. And it also gave a redemption moment for Black Pepper and John Burrs Blonde to do something together and to give a good look. Unfortunately, the middle of that sandwich that I'm seeing here was quite stale and disgusting. The water's on. Do you hear it? Wait, let me, okay, let me do it. Oh, let me do it. I'm so excited. I'm sorry. Okay. Yes. You always got me. Thank you, God. You always got me. Let me go ahead and text hold on, I gotta text somebody real quick. It's back. Yeah. Yay. Oh, I'm sorry. Not y'all catching me giving a moment. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. My bad. Back to the review. I'm sorry. Let me get back to the review. That's funny. Oh my God. I want to say amen. 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 Well, who know that song if y'all went to church? Okay, that was Sabbath school for me, since I went to church on Saturdays. Anywho, John Burrs and Black Pepper did the Lord's work. And honestly, look at me talking about amen, saying the Lord's work. See. And you know, the thing about it is that I'm about to take a shower after this too, mind you. But she didn't know what to do. They were carrying the entire performance, and I felt bad. I felt bad for Sminty because it was almost in that moment where it was like, I fucked up. And I'm like, yeah, you did. It's kind of a wrap, sister. Because really you didn't give anything to the scene. The fact that Pixie's like, I don't really understand what's going on. It honestly came from a place of, I hope just Sminty, because in reality, I also felt like Pixie was being very much oh, we got this one in the bag. Everybody else did trash. I'm gonna get to you in a second, girl. You feel you a strange duck. You're a strange quack. Okay, but Jombers and Black Pepper held it together, and Sminty was just there. And at the end of it all, they literally turned the lights out on her. Oh, I'd be embarrassed. I'd be embarrassed. Sister, you didn't even know what you were doing in this moment. Now, this is one of the reasons why I like Danny Beard and why I'm going to be on Danny's side for quite a while, okay? Until something crazy happens, right? Danny is Pixie's biggest cheerleader here when Pixie is not her own cheerleader. One more time. Danny is Pixie's biggest cheerleader when Pixie's not being one for herself. Pixie feels like this is going to be in the bag for them. She felt so happy doing this performance. All of that. And it's hers. And while Danny is literally putting their own talent down in this moment to make sure she's okay. Jeremiah, not necessarily, but I'm going to talk about it because Danny, and the reason why I relate to Danny so much is because you see how Danny gets emotional when something good happens. That's me too. Anytime like something is recognized or it's given some time, my emotions get involved because it's like I don't even know what I'm doing sometimes, but I know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Like I'm just going from the heart. You know, Pixie's reaction was a lot different than that. Even when Danny didn't win something or whatever, it was kind of like, oh, okay, well, next time I got to go. It's a little different of a reaction here, okay? But I did like this scene, especially coming from the two having performed together or been in competitions before. I do like their friendship. I really want Pixie to get the fuck out of her head, though. I want her to get out of this defeatist attitude sometimes and this I'm so used to this kind of feel. And I get it, though. I get it. But I want her to get the fuck out of it because Pixie calling herself ugly is ridiculous to me. She's not ugly. I don't know who gave her that in her brain. I don't know who set her up for that. You're not ugly, baby. You're not ugly. You're not even close to ugly. So I really hate that she has this attitude about herself right now and that she doesn't give herself more credit than she deserves. She really should give herself more credit, like honestly. But I like Danny a lot. And Danny is a big cheerleader over here too. But you know, Danny is like, you know, hey, if I get it, I get it now, but I'm really rooting for you to get it. I think it may be yours, gal. I think Pixie put too much into this, to be honest with you, with this challenge. I think she put way too much into it. Way too much. And she sets herself up for these failures and she sets herself up to be hurt like that because she's assuming this is mine. It's got to be no other way. When in reality, that person next to you was doing a lot better. No shade. So let's hope this is not a trend that goes on for too long and she doesn't develop an attitude from this because it's not needed nor necessary. The main runway challenge is the main event, okay? Love your hair, hope you win. We talked about this on the panel the other day. And of course, the conversation is about hair. LaFille gives you nothing but inches. Do weave, inches. That's all hers, baby. Hi, Crash. Hi, everyone. Just stopping to say hello. Let me try not to flood my friend's house while installing a bidet. I love a good bidet. Wash my home. But of course, Dakota, who I'm noticing has something personal with each of her runways, some sort of touch of her time, history, or something that's very important to her with playing with the tassels on her mother's curtains and applying it to her runways. She will be successful in this venture very soon. But I'm going to give some time here to another set of two people who I love Love to death. Love to death. Can I get a drink? My kitchen's right here. Let me get a drink real quick. I just want to get a drink of something. Hold on, real quick, y'all. Real quick. I just want to get a sip of something. Oh, just a sip. Just a sip. I love I can do that now. I live and I can just go to the kitchen so quickly now. In case you're wondering. I don't feel like, wait, was that my juice cup or was that my coffee cup? It's my juice cup. Perfect. I don't need to put it in the bottle. Thank you. Real quick. Just a sip. Okay. There we go. Get my throat together. My little brother was like, I don't like limeade. I said, good. I know what juice I'm going to get from my house then, so you will never drink my stuff. Jara, what are you talking about, baby? I don't understand what that comment was for. Was that meant for somebody in the chat? I don't think I was anything that was said that was disgusting here. So I would like to know where that context came from before I'm being accused of something that I'm not doing. So let me keep that going. Black pepper in the comment. Okay, great. I was just like, what? It's like, what? You see, I'm ready always. But I love you, Jara, by the way. Thanks for being here, baby. I just want to make sure I didn't say something stupid. Because, sometimes we just start speaking. We don't know where our words come from. So we have to be ready to be accountable for our actions at all times, people. I'm telling you, be accountable. Save your life. Some people be out here be struggling to be right all the time. Kanye. Oh, he's getting sued by George Floyd's family. Him and Candace Owens are getting sued now. And I hope they win. I hope they make that man bankrupt. Ooh, the pipes are piping. Y'all hear that pop? Okay. There you go, Joel. There you go. All apologies. We're a family here. In this chat. That's right. Let's keep that love. Keep that love. Correct each other when we're wrong. Okay? Now, Black Pepper, I'm going to give you some time. And I'm going to give Cheddar Gorgeous some time, too, because I low-key told Black Pepper how much I love both of them. But I didn't know Black Pepper was somebody that watched my channel for some time, and she hit me up the other day and, talked to me a little bit. I got to ask a couple of questions about her outfit, and I hope I get to meet Black Pepper. So I hope I get to meet them soon. But it just blew my mind that she's been watching me for some time. And the support that I already had for somebody who I didn't even know knew of me was already set in place at the beginning of it. And it's almost, and she was telling me, it's surreal to have you, someone who I watch talk about others on the show, now talking about me. She knows I'm a fan. But I was humbled in that moment to be like, wow, like, okay, Matthew, like not even Matty, Matthew, my government, Matthew. It's like, okay, okay, like, wow. No, Furman, you're not out of line. Now that DragCon UK is coming around the corner, those videos will be coming out very soon. I've actually been already working on them a little bit. Because I want to be ready to just drop them. It's going to be a series of videos, some for Patreon and some for YouTube. So they will come out. But I'm going to do them right on the cusp of DragCon UK is when they're going to come out. So I want to make sure I catch that wave. As a content creator, you have to ride waves sometimes because my last DragCon videos didn't get the love they deserved. And this time I'm going to get them on the cuff. I'm going to get them on the cuff this time. But listen. Black Pepper was talking about the importance. I am. the importance of Black hair and what it means to them from where they're from, a standpoint of their household, and how it's celebrated, as well as how important it is in our community with our hair. And as somebody who has gone through his own hair journey, my good 3C, I'm happy with my hair. I love my hair so much. I love my Black hair so much. That when this conversation was happening, I got a bit emotional because I've had people disrespect me because of my natural hair, touching my hair without even asking me with their dirty hands, and making comments like Sideshow Bob, or referring to the texture of it and why it's so interesting and strange, or like, whoa, that's so crazy. Like, it's almost as if it's something like some sort of just something to gasp about. But to hear so much pride and so much love that Black Peppa has for her hair, and how Black Peppa wants to represent us. And that was something we talked about too, about being a representative of Black people in drag, and also showing our culture and giving it a big light. I will always stand for this bitch. Do you hear me, Black Peppa? And anybody else's, I will be her number one cheerleader. Don't come for that lady, not in front of me. I'm gonna pop you. I was happy we had this conversation. I was happy Peppa was talking about it and went into detail and discussing, the nuances of being in the islands, and how people treat hair, and how it also relates to the States, and even in the UK, how important it is for us as Black people. It's literally, they have other folks making money off of Black folks because they know how much we appreciate our hair and what we like to do with it, and the changes we make. Talk about it. Talk about who owns them hair shops. But listen, I was here for Pep having this conversation. And as somebody who is celebrating their hair, I'm growing my hair out. I'm not going to cut it. I only cut the sides. Is because of once my mom passed away, and my mom had really pretty hair and she loved to grow it, but she also felt the need to cut it so much because she, didn't like people, coming at her, about it. I told myself that I would just continue to grow my hair for mom, and for my sisters and my brothers and my family, and what I feel like I want to represent with myself. So this hair is just going to keep on going as long as it's going to go until it knock on something, leaves me. But that's one of my main reasons that I grow my hair, because I like to show that piece of me, my heritage from my hair, as well as it makes me feel good about how I have my hair. And I was raised to be very masculine, and to keep your hair cut as a man, and to not, it's not becoming of a man to have long hair, and da 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 da. And so this is my big fuck you to that. That masculinity is only derived from a crew cut, or a buzz cut, or a military cut, or something like that. But that all hair is beautiful, And so I was happy, that when I was in Hollywood, it happened so often. It was not in it's crazy. In Houston, nobody does that to me out here. But like in LA, oh girl. Oh, they were never Black people. It was white or Latino, and that's the truth. Always touching my hair without asking me. I remember one guy on the train literally did this, like, oh wow. And I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Called me aggressive and angry, like what you would do to a Black person, over the situation and stuff like that. There were many moments I've almost had to beat people up because they're just wanting to touch my hair, or calling me all kinds of names from it. So I was a little bit confused to go to some place like Los Angeles and deal with that all the time. And for people to be so used to that, where it's like, what do you mean used to? Come to my city out here. We don't play that shit. So, it's important. I'm glad Pep had that conversation. But I think what I also liked about this moment with Peppa talking about their hair, and I know I'm giving this a lot of time, but this is something I was very much resonating with. Yeah, I've dealt with a couple of anti-blackness in reference to that community. I'm not placing it on the entire community, but I've noticed and felt a little weird around particular people who were giving more European feel versus, based in, where everybody was at. But past that, back to this here. When Cheddar Gorgeous started having a conversation about them having meningitis at 18 and how they had Auburn. I love how Cheddar just talks, bitch. I love how Cheddar talks. I can listen to Cheddar talk all day. But she said she had meningitis and she said she had that Auburn, wavy hair and all that kind of stuff. And unfortunately, one of the things that they were losing was their hair, something they were very prideful of. And they had to come to terms with it not coming back the same way as before. And when they decided to shave all of their hair off, it was a very liberating experience for them. And in reference to them doing that, it actually helped develop more of who they are as a person and change their being in for the best. And so I have so much respect for Cheddar Gorgeous because she also gave time and respect to Pep and Baby with their hair. And also, did you notice how Cheddar was letting Peppa speak and not, yeah, I understand. Yeah, I understand. None of that. It was very, I want to hear you and why this is important because I know it's important to you. I can see how big of a deal this is. And I feel it is too, but I want to hear how you feel. Man, whoo, I was like, there goes an ally right there, girl. I knew it when I saw it. I knew it. I said, I know something about Cheddar immediately when I saw them get casted for the show and I heard them speak. I said, something about this queen. She's not just educated, but she's very intelligent. I don't feel ignorance coming from her. Even a joke about, Pixie Polite getting the mini challenge win. Well, she finally has a solo win. Well, actually, I also got a win from that too. So let me take that back. I said, I stand Cheddar in this household. Do you hear me? I appreciated this conversation, the fact that this felt real and it didn't feel like I had a producer saying, you guys, we didn't make sure we no. It felt like the cameraman had a good time just sitting there, just letting them speak. And the editing team was like, yeah, we just let this go. Just let them talk. Very empathetic. This felt very real. I hope these two are good friends out of the show. I'm not asking everybody's business, but I just have so much respect for both of them. But man, Cheddar, you just hearing you talk, how you were just hyping up Baby and Pep. Wow, it just made me feel so good, especially from somebody that comes from a place that is currently dealing with so much toxic racism that is also being placed under the rug by people that say, y'all are just making everything about race, when in reality, it's always like that. For us, it's always like that, and you don't get it. Turns from it being about race to it being about politics to then into religion. It just turns into so much bullshit. So I was very happy that I felt like this was something real and it wasn't, prompted. And I loved it. And I'm going to give Baby some time here. Because Miss Mama came out there with her clothes falling down. We fall down. Yes, very that. She was working on her outfit to the last minute, trying to make sure it was perfect. Because, everybody's got to pack some things together. Baby, I hate how this episode went for you. But in reality, I'm still proud of what you presented. Because it was amazing to see some locks on the runway in that kind of form. I don't care what nobody say. To the runway. RuPaul, what? I talked about this yesterday. This is terrible. I'm sorry. This is cheap looking. This looks cheap. Like I said last week, like I said Sunday, if Elliot with 3 Ks was black and that flamingo fucking outfit, this is what this is giving me. Why does it exist and why is it here? And no shade to Elliot. But it's like I'm going into someone's really bad birthday party. I gotta walk through RuPaul to get into the birthday party. But they couldn't afford the rest of the streamers on the leg. So like it was like, oh, only half of okay. This is ugly. I'm sorry, Ru. I was trying to be nice yesterday. This is ugly. This is really ugly. This is ugly. Like, what is this? Oh my God. What is that random flower in the same? What is that? Why? No, thank you. Now, your makeup is one. The hair is right. The eyebrows are done. The lip is good. All of upstairs is okay. Actually, not upstairs, because upstairs has this ugly little thing. No, the attic is beautiful. The attic to this house is gorgeous. The rest of the house, I need to, what is it, fix it or list it? Someone get those two hosts up in here to show us 3 different houses while they give us a new renovation, because I do love the attic, though. The attic is fabulous, but girl, cheap. It looks so cheap. It just looks so cheap. And RuPaul is better than this, so I no. Shamar, thank you so much. Not the slide back, much love. Thank you for the tip on my cash out. Silly goose. Thank you so much. Thank you. Once I got this chair, because this is the chair that arrived yesterday during the panel. So once I got the chair, I was like, I'm about to be slipping and sliding in every fucking review. Every time someone does something crazy. Like, I'm about to give you Alfre Woodard in that movie, The Forgotten. Listen, I know where your son is, but you gotta... Sorry. Shout out to everybody that knows that reference that I'm referring to. Please, for everyone who got that reference, I love you. Okay. Michelle Visage, I had my comments yesterday. I'll keep it the same. I like you with bigger hair because it actually elevates you into a higher level for me. This gave me costume and no shade. I think the earrings are cool. No, I'm lying. I think, no, this is not my favorite look from her. If y'all liked it, cool, but I like Michelle with some big, nasty hair, or when she has her hair up and it just gives you that good old ocean wave. I want to be in the water. I don't want to be at the power plant. Yeah. Who is she? Not Gothy Kendall Grant. Y'all need to stop. Alan Carr, I thought this was a good look for you. These colors are doing you all kinds of favors. It's lovely. I do like this. Go on, Alan. And if you don't know who Allison Hammond is, get on YouTube and do yourself a favor and have yourself a great laugh. She's good TV. She's excellent. She's done some hosting. I've seen her on some news programs where she does certain segments on there. Like she's going to someone's house to cook, or I forgot this cooking segment I saw her do, but she was fucking up and it was hilarious. And she just went with all of it. Like if something was messing up, she was so good at just keeping it up with the flow. Like she never drops the beat. She's in on the joke, even if the joke is her at the time. She's so good at that. So I love her, love her a lot. She was also a great guest judge. Can we please bring her back? Bring her back, please. Okay. Wait, she started on Big Brother? What? Wow. Really? Ooh, okay, Matthew, come on now. I got to do a Canada versus the world video today, bitch. Okay. Danny Beard is up first. No, I was here for BBL Got Mick. I was. No, listen, I actually like this outfit. I know my panel members may not have felt the same way, but I actually like this outfit a lot. I do wish that Danny would have done something with the beard, especially because that's one of the reasons why I like Danny, because they give you that gender fuck drag and they full on give that good tea. I'm here for it. I thought this was kind of a bop though. It did remind me a little bit of Alyssa Edwards in that one episode when she had the little dog and she was walking or whatever. But I just realized she said that was Davina DeCampo. A red wig and a silver leash? I think not. I was like, oh, that was me. Oh, oh, she's shady. But no, and you know why? Another reason why I like her, she is hipped out every time. Hipped, 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 hip the fuck out every time. I love it. I love it. So I give it a puss, Danny. Not a puss, but I give it a puss. Just one puss. This is puss, puss. You had me a Cheshire cat. No, but it's the way Cheddar Gorgeous said it. Cheshire. Like it was almost like a sha, but it was so close to that, but still that woo, Cheshire cat from Alice in Wonderland. No complaints. Hair, done. Cape, done. Excuse me, coat, not cape. Done. The makeup, flawless. Sickening. You had time to do that? Remind yourself of all the people who talking about, oh no, I don't have enough time. I didn't know. This girl had how much time and did that face? I know she had to glue in some things on her face, so she might have had to do the full all the way back here. But honey, that's work. That's effort. That's someone who knows what they're doing. And then the nose having stone. They stoned the nose. Bravo, Cheddar Gorgeous. Bravo, bravo, darling. It was fabulous. Coughed up a hairball of the same hair on their head. Bitch, brilliant. Something Wong. Nope, this ain't season 1. If Something Wong was still there for the challenge, we would have seen this. But Pixie Polite is next in an outfit that Something Wong was going to wear for season 1 of Drag Race UK. Now, main event, love your hair, hope you win. I think Pixie actually looks really gorgeous. I think her makeup is great. I think she looks beautiful. I did not get full challenge from this though. And I'm going to be very honest with you because it is a high wig, but this was more beautiful bodysuit with, beautiful fabric wrapped around it. And she looks pretty versus love your hair, hope you win main event tease. And that's just where I felt the disconnection and why I think she didn't win or was really in that big contender to run for this episode. I kind of imagine that Cheddar actually, let's say Danny didn't win, I think they'd have gave it to Cheddar outside of even Pixie. Just being honest with you. You said undergarments. I mean, I'm kind of zooming in now. Like you could see it like right there. I don't know if that's that big of a deal. But I think in particular, the main challenge of it all being a hair, I was like, okay, no. And I do get the reference from the painting and her having her hair over her breast to cover it. Well, sort of in a sense, but her having very long hair. But in reality, that's not this wig and that's not this outfit. And I say no hair on the clam is it's a little bit there. I say there should have been 2 pearls that dropped. Because when she opened it and it was nothing, I was like, well, okay. But to me, if she flipped it, I'm like, have a gag come out of it though. Man, 2 pearls hitting the floor would have been fucking hilarious. I'd have made her win just for that. She would have won just for that for me. I'd be like, oh, winner. But still, she looks insanely beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. Down. Just a sight. Pretty lady. Pretty lady. Not the challenge for me, though. I was like, no, I don't know about main event. Dakota Schiffer, puss for me. Not only is your makeup right with God, your makeup is that makeup is yes, ma'am. But Something about this Gone with the Window challenge look for me is really adorable and sweet. It also gives me Dakota's like actual aesthetic, but also the story of the tassels that she told being incorporated with this hair, which if you've seen particular runways, she's really into Moschino. Like she talks about it a lot. She loves her Moschino. But I just found this to be a really excellent look for me. I really did. The eye makeup is so it is blended beautifully upstairs. It really, do you see how it just goes into the pink from the purple, girl? Oh, how soft that looks. Oh, it's so soft. It's so pussy. It's so puss. So puss. So puss. I did like this look. And you can tell she has so much more confidence when she's walking down the runway. She has so much more confidence. A lot more confidence when she's running around that runway. A lot more confidence. And I love that from Daco. I mean, she is low key the front runner with 2 badges right now, so I would have it too. Now, baby, I know the reference from the Grace Jones. I know you wanted this to be. I wish you had more time. This is where one of those moments where I said, if you had more time, this probably would have been a good soft serve. But this one's a little bit of a hard chop for multiple reasons. The hair underneath is a little too 1B for me. It's a little too flat iron, you know what I'm saying? A little finger wave. But at the same time, I also know that the look I saw on Instagram with the locks underneath it definitely gives a little bit more for this look, especially since the outfit is made of locks. Locks, okay. And I'm not referring to, the ones that you like, girls like to claim from the Vikings. Girl, stop. That was just dirty ass hair. This is completely different, okay. I thought this was great. Is my AC loud? Let me know, y'all. Turn it off. I'll let y'all know. I'll turn it off. But I thought it was great. It is 4:00 in the sun. This is when it gets hot in this apartment. But for what it was going for, I just didn't like how this came out. Like, the fact that all we saw was like underwear and then, regular body with this look. It didn't have enough going out for the hips to give you a shape. It was falling down. It didn't fit. And I felt bad because I know this honestly would have been giving us something different had there been more time, had it fit a little bit better. Yeah. Yeah. I wish. Yeah, so was look with the locks that were put in and the braiding. That was a bop. That was a bop. It just needed a little bit more structure. The idea was excellent. But the execution just needed some more time. Just a little bit more time. Once again, is my sound okay? Because the AC came on. It's a little loud. I can hear it from me, but let me know if it's too much. I'll turn it off immediately. Either way. LaFille. So I like this one for the simple fact that I need to get a clogger for my drain so that way the hair doesn't get clogged up in there, because the last apartment I was at, they had to come in and like pull it. You hear me well? Okay, good. This headset was $30, by the way, on Amazon, by the way. But I like this look. I thought this was an excellent runway for her. I love when she took the wig off and said, bitch, sorry. Remember how I was telling you my Wi-Fi was doing so well? Me and Xfinity are gonna have a fight, girl. Like every other 5 hours, it drops. Fuck. And then I have to do a reboot with the modem every single time. It is so annoying. They have got to get that together. That shit is driving me. Oh, black pepper. Let me give you some time, sister. Hold on. I'm sorry. Get it together. Okay. They said, no, you won't. Silly. Yeah, it does it like every fast internet, but I'm like, y'all, give me another modem. I was supposed to get one today. I wonder if that order was still put through. I might have to call somebody. I'll get to it in a second. I'll get to it in a second. Can y'all hear me now? Are we good now? We're good to go. I want to make sure because it doesn't. The Wi-Fi looks a little dippy. Okay, there we go. There we go. I don't like being mean on the phone either, as much as I talk about it. But fuck, this is so annoying. Let me see here. Hold on, let me go get my iPad real quick. Hold on. Let me go get this. Go get my iPad real quick. Hold on. All right, let's try this again. And I'm going to connect it to my iPad for just a second. So hold on, y'all. I just want to connect this to my iPad. My iPad. There we go. So it's going to click out for just a second. One moment. Okay, we're back. I find my iPad has better hotspot than my phone does, which is really weird. But you know, we'll let it work. We'll let it do what it do. And I am troubleshooting the Wi-Fi now. Beep beep. Okay. Phil, this was great. I thought this was a good look for you, and I honestly think that personally, this was one of your saving graces this week. Runway. Black Pepper. This was a complete serve. It gave Black Goddess, it gave African Goddess, it gave Island Queen, it gave me everything and then some. Now, the only issue I had with this look was the fact it didn't fit properly, but me and her had that conversation. We talked about it. She didn't have a lot of time to get this together for the fitting process, which is why you saw it like dip in a bit. So it was something that was pulled together, but there was some timing issues with getting the fit just right. So had she had just a little more time, the fit would have been much better, which is what she told me, and I certainly believe it because I'm like, yeah, that was literally the only problem. The fact that she had a nipple ring on the cone bra, and then she tells me, I'm giving y'all inside tea, but she told me I was going to put rings all over it. And I put it on that one little titty, and I said, oh, that's the look. I said, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Because that's all it needed. It made it that much more hotter. It really did. The eye makeup is nasty. Them suckers. It's like that cut is going all the way up here. It's going all the way. It's just like someone took a razor blade and just said slice, slice. Black excellence indeed. The fit was the issue. That's all it was for me. I think she looks absolutely stunning. I do. I just wish it fit a little bit better. Just a watt, not even a lot, a watt bit better. But I think Black Pepper looks stunning. Sminty drop. Y'all said Formosa, and I'm gonna go ahead and keep it there. Formosa Ultra Beast, Ultra Sun and Moon teas from Pokemon. Okay. I feel bad for Sminty just because this was not a good episode, but my God in heaven, this was one fucking amazing look. It was so good. It was so good. It really was. Oh, her makeup is just juiced. Her makeup is great. Oh, it's good, 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 good. And I love that she has the eyes on her hair to give the eyes of a moth, along with the pigtails that are going here. Of course, we have our high sock moment here. It's good. It's a great look. It was not a great episode, but this is a great, great look, honey. I don't have no problem. Y'all saying Frost Moth? Frost Moth meets Formosa. Fusion dance. Hold on, we're gonna do Dragon Ball Z, so it needs to be fusion dance. For my Dragon Ball people, you know I know. You know I know. John Burr's Blonde, giving us Princess Diana's stepmother. I don't like it. I don't like it. She, not to sound like somebody who needs to have this say and reference for anything, but like, she's giving closet. She's giving attic. She said mothballs, and I do agree. That smell is strong, sister. It do look like you stank coming down this runway. I'm sorry. I wasn't a fan of this. She aged herself with this makeup, this wig. I know you was itchy. It's giving me. I need a sanitizer wipe. I really need a sanitizer or something. Someone get this baby some aloe vera oil. Ugh, it wasn't my favorite look from her. And I feel like she can do a lot better than this. I just did not really care for this. It gave me Goodwill. I didn't like it. I don't want to be mean though. I like John Burr. I actually like John Burr's. I just don't like this. I will say though, this was more the challenge than a particular contestant who didn't give me hair. This gave fur and hair. I will say that. But when she flipped the back and there was a jewel with her butt, I was like, oh, I don't care. It's what this red. I don't care. I don't care. Not my favorite. Not my favorite. Yeah, not my favorite. I do like her though. It's just I felt like that could have been better. It could have been better. Either way, top three, bottom three. The top three is literally Pixie Plate's group. The top three is literally Pixie Plate's group. Pixie, Danny, Cheddar. The bottom three is Baby, LaPhil, and Sminty Drop. Now, when RuPaul asked Baby, what do they want from this competition, or what do they want to give? And when Baby responded the way they did about, I'm just trying to, do my best and learn about myself and learn new things for drag, I was like, okay, I'm going to actually be on Rue's side here and say, girl, that was not the fucking answer. Rue's response, though, I felt maybe could have been a little different because of how it was presented in a way to almost make Baby feel like, girl, like, what are we doing here? And it did feel almost like she kind of gathered her just a tad bit. And Rue did say, this is not drag you. And Joel, I do agree with that moment. But I think something about the way Rue responded to Baby, well, I know Baby kind of was hurt with that. I also was like, oof, okay. So when Rue said all of it, I said, uh-oh, this is trouble. But I knew why Baby responded the way she did. The moment she said authority figures and how she's had to talk and maybe try to say the right thing because she was always in trouble. But I also want to know why RuPaul asked Baby specifically what her objective was. You didn't ask that to anybody else up there. I think Sminty deserved that question. as well. That confused me. It did feel a little like, why are you here? I don't want to drive that nail into the coffin too deep because, Ru can ask questions. That's fine. It did feel a little bit like, why are you here? And I didn't like that because it was like, girl, what do you mean? What is your objective? But maybe Ru doesn't get baby just yet, even though baby won last week. Ooh, an even better point. Baby won last week. Why are we asking her what her fucking objective is? I still think the question is legitimate. I would have preferred it to have been one that would be done for all of them up there. Now that I have you in front of me, what is your objective, Pixie Polite? Now that you're here, Cheddar Gorgeous, and of course you're doing this and other, what do you want from this competition? Danny, how would you like this to be? Sminty, it's been a little troubling here. You haven't got your badge yet. What do you want to do here? LaPhil, you got a badge that last episode. How is this going to... I felt like that was needed for everyone. So for me, I was like, dig it, like the Libra I am. There was no balance in that moment, and it felt like it was a teacher gathering a student real quick for a question, the student not being ready to answer, and then them giving a response that they thought would honestly be the one that Rue wanted to hear. But I can be the first one to tell y'all this for baby, okay? I wish baby answered that a lot more honestly than she did, because now it made it look like, of course, for her, she doesn't want to be in trouble, and she felt she was in trouble when the question was asked. I wish baby had just said fuck it and just say what she wanted to really say, because I don't think that's what she really wanted to say either. Everything that she gave, I was like, girl, you just giving them that answer. But in reality, I think you really wanted to say what the fuck you wanted to say. And the next time you get that chance, because I'm gonna tell you this right now, if baby does not win this show, they would be a fool not to put her on an All Stars or versus they would be a fool to do that. Do not waste this one. She's good. She's good. Okay, this is a slip this week, but she's good. I like baby a lot, so I mean, baby's outfit looked better than RuPaul's, so now what? I'd rather, hear me loud and clear, y'all. I'd rather have sat here with fit issues versus seeing something that looked cheap. All right, let's move past this moment here because I got to get ready for another review. Canada, what is this? Canada versus the world. We got to go get ready for that. Here's where I'm going to get a little messy. So, Pixie, what was your tea? Why were you so mad Danny was getting coots? This was kind of gross. I didn't like this. I like Pixie. I did not like this moment. I was like, ew, what are you doing? Bitch. Oh, bitch. It felt like, bitch, what? Like, excuse you? They're all having conversations and shit. Pixie's over here like, I really, really feel like this is going to be my time to shine. You said that for the other episode that you won too. It's so, girl, you must want to win every challenge, which I would too if I was on the show. Like, let me not bullshit y'all. But, she felt like this was going to be her week. And I guess she wasn't happy that everybody, wasn't praising her for her performance the way that she felt like she should. Okay. Mind you, she's not even in the bottom. Cheddar gave Pixie some time, but she wanted to give Danny her flowers because in reality, that's who she felt killed it. And I felt the same, and a lot of other people did too. Mind you, they all got to watch the show. Everybody that's up there got to watch each other perform and do their bits. While Pixie was judging everybody for how their performances were. What the fuck is this? It's not funny. Da, 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 da. All of that. Danny was consistently, and you notice how Danny does that too. Like when Pixie did, we're team talent, and then Danny's like, don't say that. You're gonna set us up for failure. Don't do that. Don't put that in the atmosphere like that. Don't put that there. We don't know what's gonna happen. That's why I like Danny. Danny's a real one. She's shady, but she's a real one. Like, you know what I'm saying? Let's not count our eggs too quick. We got to do the work first. But everybody gave Danny their flowers. Mind you, Danny wants, of course, Pixie to win, but also Danny, also on the inside, feels they did a good job too. So why not celebrate that moment for themselves? Girl, all I saw was this face. Like, really? Really? Hello, I'm right here. I'm right here. I'm thinking to myself, what? She had to insert her own compliment during that moment with Danny to be like, well, Rue said, this is the right time for me to like start to pick it up again. So I think I have a good chance. It's like, I feel like Pixie's insecurities are consuming her in that moment. And she can't just breathe and let it be, because if she doesn't win, you got the next challenge. You got a challenge after that. Everybody's there with you too. You got a lot of people to compete against, but it's like she put way too much on this win. And I hated that for her. I like your picks, but like, stop. Get out of your fucking head. Get out. Get out. Get out. Because it's consuming you, and it really fucks with me when I'm like watching you do that to yourself, and you make me not like you because you almost took away that moment from Danny, who was giving you time and who won this episode. Personally, I thought Danny deserved this one. Danny killed it as medium Mog, or whatever it was. I can't think of the name right now. But when I saw her face, because Danny like looked at her like, oh my God, I won. And Pixie still couldn't even smile for her. And the rest of the time she was up there, it was this face, girl. I was like, Jesus. Like, what was going to happen? You wanted to pout and see if RuPaul was going to give you a badge too? My God. I hated it. Hated it. I love you, Pixie. You may not feel that way right now. You may unfollow me after this. But I promise you, I do not dislike you. I just did not like this moment for you. You're better than this. You're way better than this. But it seems like this ongoing theme with you putting so much weight on yourself over people in the past who've competed on the show and relationships that you've had with them and how they did, and it now being played into these moments here. Well, if this mama didn't do well, I gotta do well. Well, this is my challenge because I'm really good at this kind of stuff, and this is my own thing. And if I don't win this one, I don't know how to feel. And I'm like, girl, if you don't pull it together, you and them overalls giving me Jake Yonsei 3 years ago tease, 4 years ago tease, pull it together. Shout out to Jake Yonsei, that's my bitch. Hey, sister. But seriously, pull it together. It was not cute. I was like, oh. Bottom 2 is Baby and Sminty Drop. What do I need to say about this? Respectable by Mel and Kim. Sminty can't dance. Sminty does a good emote. She does a good emote, but she can't dance, and it was evident. Baby tore her a new one. Butt ass naked. Beat her alive. I don't even have to talk about this for long. Beat her alive. Destruction. It naked. Now, she's not naked low key, but she had underwear, but destroyed her. Destroyed. I was like, oh, poor girl. Listen, and that's why I say, Will, that's why I made my statements, and why I didn't just drag her to oblivion with Miss Pixie, and why I say I hate that for her. And I want her to get out of her head. Okay? I can get in my own head sometimes. But I can't watch it. Do you know what I'm saying? I can't sit there and pretend like, oh, well, she's human, so let her have this moment. Because that energy was transferable, and it was attitude. It was anger because I didn't win and I didn't get what I wanted. And that's why I was pissed. But I'm not going to hold that to her to be like, well, next episode, Pixie pissed off. I'm going to use that in the chop block this week. Pixie pissed off. Pissed off polite. No. I won't hold that for her. It's just this episode, it gave me 2. Now, if she comes in next week with this bullshit, I am going to be a little upset. But again, we all have our days. We have our days. Yeah, we have them. I called her Pixie Pilaf in the chop block the other time. I don't even know why I said Pilaf. I just was thinking of peas. But anywho, Sminty knew what was up. Yeah, Sminty knew what was up. Sminty knew what was up. I feel bad for this little baby, but I got to say something right now. This may be the most iconic, one of the most iconic exits to ever happen in Drag Race history. That sad twerk was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Ever. It was just the fact that she's crying and she's like, that shit was funny. I was cackling because it just was so stupid. It was definitely Becca has been drinking and she has lost her boyfriend in the same smooth dip. All of it, but she wants to dance. It's like she broke up with her boyfriend and she's going through something, but she wants to dance with her friends. Like she's sitting here like this. She's sitting. See, I have a little arch in my boot, so it's a little different for me. But you know, it was very. Then she did then she nay-nayed back. Did you see that? She went like this. Oh man, that was funny. And I sat there and I said to myself, bitch, if you had just brought some of this into the challenge, you wouldn't be in this position. But I think it was Sminty's time to go. I think Sminty was a contender, but there are going to be some tweaks that need to be fine-tuned here. I think for anybody that's saying she was robbed is girl stop. I will say though, if she comes back, I would be nervous because now she knows what to do. And there's little things that she can fix now. And she's still got time and she's still got the energy in the youth for it. Oh my God. Can you imagine if she learns how to dance? Can you imagine if she gets a little bit of those classes in her? Oh my goodness. And she gets some improv in her. Oh my goodness. Because she's honestly personally funny. She has very good personality. She was a great commentator. Just needs a little more time in the oven. And it's going to be, ooh, be prepared. She will be a threat for sure. So I would not take this as an L for Sminty. I take it as it wasn't her time yet. And if she goes back into the oven again and comes out, I see nothing but top 4 in her future to possibly win something. So Sminty drop, I enjoyed you this season. I'm sad to see you go, but yeah, it was not a good episode for you, my doll. It was not a good episode. Good runway, though. An excellent exit. All right, y'all. That's the end of my UK Season 4, Episode 4 live review. I did it within the 2-hour time frame. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. I'm Mr. Meeseeks. Look at me. Okay, I got to go. I got to get ready for this Canada versus the World live review tonight. It's going to be 5:30 Pacific, 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern here on YouTube. Once this video ends and I have done my tags, monetize it, do all that, I'm going to go ahead and post the links and the announcement for the video. So you'll be able to click on and join me tonight, 5:30 Pacific, 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern here on Matty Rants YouTube channel to talk about Canada versus the World and the 9 new cast members who are coming back to compete once again. I'm going to break down some of these looks, talk about the Meet the Queens, which y'all, the Meet the Queens is available now. So go watch it right now so you can get your, get your feed yourself with some of this stuff with these babies. But I will see y'all tonight to have that discussion. I'm so excited. One of my favorite people in the entire universe is on there. As you already know, you saw my piece of cake video and you saw the post. You know who I'm rooting for. You know who I'm rooting for. Oh, I want my sister to win. I want her to win this time. I don't want her to get close. I want her to win. Either way, thanks for tuning in. Make sure to hit that like button before you walk out the door. Make sure to hit that like button before you walk out the door. And of course, if you want to drop a tip in my jar, please and thank you. And make sure to get in the comment section after this so that way you can sound off on what you thought of this week's episode, highs and lows and all that jazz. But I will see you next time on this channel. So happy to be in my home. So happy to be here. I'll be moving furniture tomorrow, so Chucky will definitely be reviewed in the evening time. But I will see you tonight. All right, bye. Listen.